What is an addiction society pretends is a necessity? Some people are addicted to comparing their lives to others when they should really strive to be the best they can be. Trying to outperform others leads to endless frustration, but trying to outperform yourself leads to true improvement. Coming from an overthinker, I completely agree. Staying up late and waking up early. 24 hours cable news. Anyone else here old enough to remember Paul Harvey? For decades, people heard his voice on the radio and thought of him as the voice of America. He was immensely popular and was constantly courted to write newspaper columns or have a daily TV show. He maintained that it was difficult, if not impossible, to write interesting content on a daily basis and it would lead to false content. I can't say that he was wrong. The rest of the story. Yup, Paul Harvey was a genius. And sorely missed. Social media. My Facebook got hacked, basically phished, and they haven't let me back in yet even though I followed Facebook's own policies for getting access to my account again. It's been several days now, so I was thinking, shit, I'm gonna have to make a new account. And then I realized no, I don't. I don't really miss it at all. Working overtime and doing more work than the job description entails. No need to pay overtime if you're salaried, just stay until 9 and cover for the people we had to cut due to COVID. That's the motto where I work. This makes me so angry because this is so close to my life. Swamped because 2 key players in my area are gone due to COVID restructure reef and were supposedly fully staffed. Did I mention the freeze in all raises because of COVID when I know the owners are still getting their regular bonuses? Unfortunately, this is familiar in all too many companies today. Where I work, they refused to delay contract negotiations for our union because we knew they were going to use COVID as an excuse. During the negotiations, they denied just about all our demands because of COVID. Leaving us a choice of accept another 4 years at our old contract wages, or strike during a pandemic where we would not get unemployment, and a lot of people are out of work that could easily scab. So we accepted the shit contract terms with only 3 new additions to the contract, one of which is made for some sweet malicious compliance, and 1 month later the CEO gets a bonus worth more than half my year's wage, and his best friend gets 3 promotions with a new salary grade on each promotion over the course of the next year. Mind you, we are a government entity, so these bloated salaries and bonuses all come out of the pockets of taxpayers. For those wondering how we have a CEO in our government, it goes into a complicated area where basically we were a private business that got absorbed into the government because it was easier, cheaper to fund us than it would have been to build what we do, or compete against. I want to hear these malicious compliance stories. I'll give the TLDR for it. During the negotiations when we tried to have them reevaluate our prevailing wages, because of course they give us the absolute minimum they legally can, we were told the majority of the union staff is unskilled labor and we were paid accordingly. We told them if they truly believe that we want that to be put into writing in the contract. They were forced into a corner where they either had to agree to putting it in writing, or keep negotiations going on a proper wage increase. They fell on their sword, and put in a clause that basically dictates if it's not in our SOPs we don't have to do it, and they now can't change our SOPs without renegotiating our wages. #X200B. So first bit of MC was to get all other duties as a sign thrown out of our SOPs since that could take us out of our unskilled labor class and does not properly define our work. #X200B. Extra tasks the employees have done in the past to keep the place running properly, which have become expected of us, we no longer do. And now we can't be written up for because it's not in our SOPs and there is no longer a duties as assigned. #X200B. This created a not my problem mentality among the staff, which has led to a complete and utter shitstorm from management trying to figure out how they can now stop it without giving us a pay raise. Needless to say, since they pay us the minimum they legally can, they have no course of action but to swallow their own words. The entire side hustle culture. I understand the need, desire, and do it myself too. But I find it insane that we need to monetize almost every waking moment. Edit. Holy shit, thanks for the first awards ever, guys. Also, please excuse me while I go look into moving to the UK. So many replies saying this isn't really a thing there. Some of these side hustles aren't feasible to do long term. Especially here in Canada. Sugar. Completely unnoticed. So much sugar in things people just don't expect or check. Thinking of sugar as a drug has helped me enjoy it more responsibly. Isn't it a fact that most low-fat products, they have a lot more sugar added to it to compensate the flavor? Edit. Just to clarify, this comment is about processed products. Think stuff like low-fat mayo or low-fat snacks. Being too connected to friends or social media, you don't need to be constantly on your phone and stopping what you're doing every 5 minutes to look at your phone. Friends are great. Spending time with friends is great. Seeking validation every 5 minutes from virtual acquaintances you don't care about is the opposite of great. Yes, I realize I'm saying this while literally trying to impress strangers on Reddit. The irony isn't lost on me. Even so, it's not that social interaction is bad. It's just that the virtual kind is often of such low quality that you'd be happier doing something else. This is what social media has turned into in my family. I am so upset. I liked 100 pictures of so-and-so's baby, and now that I have a new grandchild, I get no likes back? Why take it out on a little innocent baby? The baby has no idea this is even happening, and please get a life. I said this to my mother. She really needs to get the hell off Facebook. Now. When I started getting hurt over likes. That's when I knew I had to get off Facebook. People's lunch pictures would get more likes than my big life announcements, and I'd feel a sting. Irrational, I know, especially because I don't have a ton of friends on Facebook. That was my impetus to reduce my time to 15 minutes and no personal posts seeking likes. Trying to look the best on social media. I don't get it and never will. I went dog sledding yesterday for my birthday. It was a nice zen meditative ride while someone else steered. Dude said he would have some people browsing Instagram while on the sled. Not even posting, just browsing. Killed me a little inside since I had just brought a lil camera to record it for me, myself and I to look back on. I didn't even really look at my camera while on, just held it and admired the beauty around me while I hoped there was something being captured for future me. He was obviously speaking with some salty undertones about the social media addicts edit. Call me a hypocrite, that's fine, I guess I am hahamgr.com. This is my entire video I got out of the ride. Highly recommend going dog sledding, it's so peaceful. Edit 2, many people asking. I'm in Colorado. Damn. That's really unfortunate. Wannelducker 5000. I'd cry, but I laughed too hard at this. Having to upgrade your electronics every couple of years. If phones had replaceable batteries like they used to, a lot more people would keep them longer. It's insane that the lifespan of your phone is limited to the lifespan of your battery. Seriously though, a battery replacement makes a phone almost feel brand new. When I swapped over to a Galaxy S8 from an iPhone 6 almost 4 years ago, I gave my iPhone 6 to my partner's mother as she had an iPhone 4S at the time. The iPhone 6 was going a little slow, but she paid about $70 NZD for a battery replacement, and suddenly the phone was almost as good as new. Sped right up and everything. Consumerism. I recently started trying to be more mindful of how I spend random money. I didn't realize I was buying something almost every day of the week. And some of it is just stupid stuff. I went to the store to buy tofu for a recipe. Then I left the store with $30 of crap I didn't need and forgot the tofu. Same. I recently learned how to shop online when the lockdowns happened. I could not believe how much I spent in 2020 in online purchases. Decided to curb it in 2021, which surprisingly, I ended with money still in the bank as opposed to 2020 where I already spent my Christmas bonus even before I got it. Working extra hours for free. The organization will gladly let you work for free but absolutely shouldn't do it. Source, team leader that protects my team from this. Working oneself to death. Edit. This comment blew up way more than I ever expected. Thank you all for the upvotes and awards. One of my favorite related quotes: you'll never hear someone on their deathbed say they regret they didn't work more. Edit. There's a lot of replies of examples that disprove this quote. It could be interpreted in many ways, but what I mean is in regards to working oneself to death specifically. Same job, constant odd, working on days off or while sick, etc. Regretting not getting an education, or working your way up in a career is different. I think we've all had those relatives who'd tell us at young ages to go to college because they regret never going. We should always strive to accomplish more. Caffeine. People are always shocked when they learn I do not drink coffee, like I am the one with a problem. Same. But it's not the caffeine for me, but the bitterness. But coffee people really love their coffee. I love my coffee, But I also admit it's due to a full-fledged dependency. My surest sign that it's a chemical dependency for me is that I'm not a snob about it in any way. Nice cup of French press with freshly roasted and ground beans from the local coffee shop? Sounds great. Truck stop shit in a styrofoam cup? Bring me 2 cause that shit's probably weak. I've never come across weak trucker coffee. That's ridiculous. No kidding, that shit's designed to get you through the boring part of I-80 so your heart can explode afterwards. The boring part of I-80 aka I-80.